in reference to veneration of the dead, they do it more than we do it. As far as like the statues and the money, like when
Mm-hmm.
you look at money, money is a spiritual apparatus in reference to some form of like necromancy
Mm-hmm.
to some degree. It have to, because you could
Yeah.
put a bird on that bitch. You don't gotta put a old white man on it per se.
No. No. Yeah, and that right there makes me think about John the Baptist and Knights Templar carrying around his head. Um. Yeah. So.
I think a lot of the shit that we look at as weird in ancient time is very normal, especially if you incorporate in some form, like if you have all four elements and then you have the fifth element, which is spirit.
Mhm.
Every tribe knew what that fifth element was succinctly, the same way as we knew what food was. But in this particular paradigm, it is us that don't deal with that fifth element in a clear,
Succinct way.
yeah, it's not real to
It's
niggas.
not
Like,
everyday. It's not everyday practice.
nah, it's not even real. I would go like it's not as real as say money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is real to
Right.
many people,
Mm-hmm.
but spirit, you could take it or leave it,
Yeah.
depending on how it looks.
When it's sexy to talk about it, that's when we'll bring it up.
Right. But as far as like the statues and just the overall ways of racism, I feel is very much of an ancestral thing. It's a spirit that gets venerated by the people that live today through witchcraft
Mm-hmm.
and psychological things. But the trick to it from my perspective, which how we could tap in, is that it don't need to be all of the white people that understand what's going on spiritually. It only take 1% in reference to us, what we need to do, for our particular tribe
Mm-hmm.
is to identify who's the shaman and therefore what is the ways and modus operandi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think it is because when you look at other cultures, they identify their shamans and their rabbis and their you know what I mean, their babalaos and stuff like that. Where they still got people that's in corporate America, for lack of better words. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? But they still know this is
This is what
our
this is,
metaphysical authority. Yeah,
and we
is.
don't have to. We don't have to speak on it to explain it. Type shit. It's just
Hmm.
like it's
Hmm.
embedded in the fabric of what it is that they do.
Hmm. And it's like they have so much respect for it to where if they're called upon to be a part of a ritual or get some type of materials for a ceremony, they gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have to really know everything about it. They just gonna do it. you know. But imagine trying to ask your parents for some money so you could get some materials for a ritual.
Yeah, yeah.
you
Like
know,
I wanna cook a random meal for auntie and shit, and like what? Like auntie ain't
you
even
gonna
here.
waste that food.
That money back. The fuck? Like yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 It's
We
like you
laugh
don't
at
have
that
to.
shit. Our
Yeah.
people laugh at that shit like it's like it's fool's gold type shit. But when you explain to these people that that's your science and that's part of the reason why there's a huge disconnect, now we got to have a real conversation about why that is.
Yeah, and that's like it's hard to live in this world where most people have a career and to like understand what y'all are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying like y'all said earlier, you could work in corporate America and still be a part of the tribe,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a certain professionalism that goes to the spiritualists that in this culture is not like I have a tax code that I could fill out on my W 2s and
Yeah,
say,
there's
oh,
no template. There's no template now.
yeah, you kind of sometimes you got to wing it. You know what I'm saying? And I say that all to say, like, it's just a very powerful thing when you can, like, understand the matrix and then understand that that's the illusion and seeing beyond the illusion and getting more into what you need to do as far as maybe shamanism in the space of like burning herbs or um, doing some type of ritual spell, what have you, but just getting into your spiritual bag and awakening those parts of your DNA. But really, it's like it's your power too. It's something that you more or less have to do and understand if you have a soul. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the time to interface with your soul. But I'm gonna play this Bobby video then. If y'all ain't got anything else to add to it,
Rock out.
Just we'll show you the seals. I've shown you. There's 72 seals. There's 7 chakras in the body, but in the third eye, in another dimension, which is Doth. Y'all all right? When you go back and watch the tape, it'll all come together. Which is Doth. This sphere, which is in the third eye, there's 72 of these seals. Now, in Doth, which is the other gateway, which is in the body, you got 7 major African deities that represent the manifested Sephiroth in the physical body. But in the third eye is a complete other world. Now follow me. And in that world, there's 72 other seals or chakras, which are living entities. Each entity sets over legions of other entities. So let's say this one seal here, this particular entity, which is called Kama, will have 62 other legions. But a legion, when broken down, means 10,000. So he has 62 legions of 10,000s. And each one of these have 30, 40, 50, 20 legions. So here what you have here is a complete other extraterrestrial civilization. The key here about this extraterrestrial civilization, it is not talking about one that comes from spaceships out of. The extraterrestrial civilization is inside of the African Americans that will be the heirs to the earth. That's why they got to shut down us. Why us? Well, the story goes, the mystery of the supreme goddess Maya, known as the Shekinah. Now, the Shekinah ushers in entities, what is called a great mixing bowl. Now, the mystery of this particular thing here is the great mixing bowl is symbolic of the black woman or this entity, but this is the mysteries behind this. In the African tribes, now, these entities here that I'm talking about, which is the seals, is nothing but what is called chlormidians in the Phantom Menace, the Star Wars movie. These are called Damians, which is an ancient word later on degraded into demon. These Damians is inside of our body, is in the central nervous system of the blood and throughout the entire body. Now, these particular Damians, which represent millions of entities inside of us, that's where you get your extraterrestrial force, what the white boy calls junk DNA. That's the stuff that he cannot register other than the 2 strands. They call it junk DNA. All of this particular stuff is inside of us. These entities, these images in Africa, the tribes of Israel is actually the tribes of Africa. Now follow me. And I talked about this in some other lectures. You have different tribes. You got the Igbo, the Hausa, the Yoruba, you got the Egyptian, you got the Zulu, you got all these different entities of these particular tribes in Africa. But they're separated, so the energy is dissipated. Then a group of slaves come up out of Africa. They come to the Western. They're not known as tribes by the slave master. He put them all together and made them. So in us is what is called the finished element. In our blood system, we got Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Egyptian, Ethiopian. You see what I'm saying? Zulu. Every kind of thing that you want to name that was Africa, we are the finished element. That's why the Africans in America is the heirs to the earth. Now follow me on this thing because the war's already started. And they're letting you know they will call it whatever the hell they want to call it. Just not let you know that their ass is getting whipped.
You ever gone through a hard time in your life only to come out the other side?
So, in reference to that particular concept that Bobby Hemmett is laying out, whereas the technology of the spiritual and the quantum and the Kabbalistic exists within you, and the enemy, if there ever was an enemy, is specifically somebody who is trying to keep you in a space where you are not activating your chakras and tapping into the goetic angels and demons that are within you, demons being daemons, which is your geniuses that will unlock, because the external world is so beautiful, one doesn't think to deal with the internal world. But you have the soul, so it's up to you on how you plan on using it. But I'm gonna bring up the chart for the day. We got the moon in Gemini spread throughout the beginning of the week, and we getting a full brunt of Gemini throughout this first opening of the week leading into a new moon. How would you prepare and deal with this specific transit throughout this week or starting off this week?
So I would say, starting out this week, in my notes I have like start with a copious amount of journaling. Because with the Gemini energy, from my experience, it always deals with a certain level of projection, a certain level of struggling with the illusion. Actually, shout out to Juicy J, Caught Up in the Illusion. He got a jazz album out. Um, but I think it's going to be really important because of what's going to happen in this week. You know what I mean? After Gemini, we're going to be dealing with Cancer, and I think it's going to be a really good indication of um, you get out what you put in with this shadow work for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Cancer would be Friday or Thursday and Friday. Um, so I would say, a lot of shadow work, and then for my notes, I got get a hold of the projections that you aim at family, friends, and associates. I believe that the problems we expect others to solve is destructive to our spiritual development. In order to ruin the practice of blaming and projecting your shit on other people, the simple thing is acceptance. Um, and also the moon to be conjunct Venus on Wednesday. And it'll still be in Gemini. And that I think that even magnifies the responsibility one person has to do that inner work. Like this is just an ongoing thing. Like you should it's just a cycle of inner work. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be something that you're going to complete, while you're still here, while you still are bound to this vessel. Um, and it also, while I was journaling, it made me think of that saying, like, God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And I think that's a big key because you can be spending all your time trying to change a person. You know what I mean? Knowing damn well your stubborn ass just want them to be a certain way so that you can continue with your bullshit. um, and yeah, whenever I see Gemini, seven of or eight of swords, nine of swords, 10 of swords, which respectively is interference, cruelty, and ruin, I always think about doing that shadow work, understanding that it's not the illusion that is the problem. It's how you are choosing to identify with it, trying to control the illusion. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to put chaos in a bottle at that point.
Yeah,
And the new
I
moon,
I think.
Saturday.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I think that I think that speaks to the level of my spirit currently. But before I talk about that, I wanted to add to the Bobby clip. Um, the main reason as to why I feel that melanated people have an issue with this knowledge when we get to it or when they get to it is because they've been indoctrinated to the point that every time they see something, hear something, or somebody is bringing up something that is in contradiction to Christian theology, those people always dress it up as demonic, and that's systematic. Because if I put demonic on anything, 9 times out of 10, the average person is not going to want to deal with it, right? So if I tell you that astrology is demonic, if I tell you that ancestor divination is demonic, if I tell you that talking to dead people is demonic, if I tell you that incorporating demons and angels at the same time is demonic, manifestation is demonic. If I tell you all of that, you're not going to deal with it. And I think that's what our people have faced since the beginning of time is that people that don't look like them are telling them that the things that they are doing is demonic. And in order for them to fit in, they got to stop doing that shit. And I think that's the reason why most of our people are the way they are when it comes to this information.
I think you got to be okay with going, dealing with the left hand path sometimes. Like demonic ain't bad,
1000%.
like it's,
1000%. The left hand path is in unison with the right hand path. You got two
yeah,
hands, right?
yeah,
So what does that mean? You only gonna go on one path and only use one hand. So this other hand just gonna stay over here. Like that shit is weird.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
have to take all of it in its totality. You can't just take the good out of whatever anything is and expect like that is going to be all that you need.
Hmm.
When we talking about energy, we talk about positive and negative charges. You need both in order to create that spark. You don't create that spark just simply standing on the side of positivity or whatever it is that you perceive to be as good. You just don't.
Uh, and is I guess I think just the concept of good and evil, where we got right and left, right? It like you left handed or you right handed. It's like we get. It's like I think humans, this specific strain of human, we have to like prioritize one thing over another. And at the same time, we need our right and left hemisphere. We need our left and right hand. We walk with our left and right feet. It's like we don't get it for real. Like this strain of human really got the idea that they can live by themselves, for themselves. Like it gets you into like a selfish paradigm where it's like uneven, and a lot of times we grow up in through it. We don't even realize how, I guess, evil it truly is to not operate in full duality or full awareness of the reality that we're actually in. It's everything is good. Like you go to church and you like learning about God. Imagine you go to church on Sunday. He like, all right, we about to learn about the devil in this bitch for like 2 years. We just diving deep into the science of the devil, so you can know
Hmm.
when this
Niggas is not going like that.
niggas gonna get real spooked out by the ain't that real though.
Yeah.
It's Saturday and Sunday. It's Saturn and the sun. So it's like I think a lot of it'll always kind of play out to like lack of balance, which brings us into like Gemini, where it's a mutable sign, it's Castor and Pollux, it's the mind, it's the body, and our mind in this particular paradigm, in this particular 2025, post 2020, I feel like it's a level of fracturing that have taken place within the mind and the spiritual paradigm. I feel like we have lost a lot of mojo over time, if we're going to be honest about it.
And when you talk about fractured, I think you use the perfect fucking analogy. Like it is a fractured consciousness, right? Because what makes you think that you're only supposed to use one aspect of the consciousness in order to get through? Like it has to be fractured, right? Because we approach it all from this aspect of good versus bad, or good versus evil, up versus down, left versus right, when all of it has to come into play. Fracture is thinking that you don't need your left hand, you could just use your right hand. The fracture is thinking that you could just focus in on spirit and never acknowledge the soul. The fracture is thinking that God exists, but his counterpart doesn't, because that's what the devil would be, right? It would be his shadow. But the
Hmm.
idea that we just have a God who doesn't have a shadow is weird as fuck to me.
That's like a bunch of people claiming that they understand what's beyond Kether.
Mhm.
Like it's not is for us it's dual. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a singularity, but for us it's dual. We live in a realm of duality. Um,
Mhm.
Even when I'm studying astrology, or even just to keep it with the Kabbalah, like if I'm looking at Hod, I'm going to consider Nesak. You know what I mean? Like because they balance each other. Like I think you can learn a lot about Aries by studying Libra, and vice versa. You can learn a lot about masculine energy by studying feminine energy because it's not easy to just look at one thing and understand it fully. You know what I mean? You need something to cast it. You need a shadow to you need a light to hit it. That's the knowledge, and then you need the shadow that's going to be cast from it.
One
And you
thousand
have to
percent.
consider the shadow just like when we talk about the integration of your shadow self. You're constantly casting the shadow as you go out into the world, and you experience. You get what I'm saying? Different thoughts, different emotions, different relationships ending, new relationships beginning, um, different things that may trigger you, that may come to the surface. The shadow is constantly being cast, but people act like they ain't got a shadow.
Mhm.
People walk this earth like the sun don't cast no shadow on them. That's just ridiculous. I think
It's
until
almost
we
like
can
only the
understand,
sun. It's almost like only the sun exists, but not the moon type shit.
yeah, like it don't read like um damn. I was just thinking of an analogy. It'll come back about like the shadow. Uh, Damn, yeah, it'll come back.
Makes me think about Cypher in a Matrix, and I feel like ever since 2020, if you wasn't prepared for 2020 and people had to like really go through the shadow a lot of time during that particular space and time, coming out of it, a lot of people went in the cipher route. Like I understand spiritual shit is real.
And a lot of people went into the cipher route consciously, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of and it's like, so for me, it opens it up into like NPC. Like I
Yeah,
understand what an NPC is. It's somebody that the knowledge is the knowledge. but to really just like stop and honor your soul and be very like soft and receptive of the wind and just the elements that are like operating within this particular matrix more like a butterfly than like a lion or an elephant or something like that. It ain't, the shit's not heavy, regardless of what's happening or what you seeing or what you thinking. It is not as heavy as it's being portrayed, but I feel as though the mind control have really ramped up with the AI and the TikTok and really like getting people to whereas like they either can't think or if they do think they thinking somebody else's thoughts.
Hmm. I think it's just prepping people um to what's the word, for lack of better words, being comfortable with going into a mental autopilot state. You get what I'm saying? Because that's all this technology is doing, at least how the normal person is using it. They're using it for entertainment. And when you do, you go on autopilot,
Mm.
you go into that drone state, and I think it's just prepping you for it. It may not be my per se grandkids generation, but you can best believe that DNA is being affected and it's being passed down, to the point where I remember a guy was talking about a baby knew how to swipe on an iPad, but
Right,
nobody showed the baby how to do the shit. You know
right,
what I mean? And he was saying it like it wasn't just a baby just doing shit. No, the baby did it with some intention. Like, I know I'm about to make this work this way. You
right,
know, um, and man,
right. But think about it though, like DNA is not like static, right? DNA is very fluid and
Mhm,
it's like
mhm,
mimicking your muscles movement. Yo, like you know
mhm,
what I'm saying? So if you're looking down on the phone, that's like a muscle. So you can
mhm,
pass on that trait. You can pass on
mhm,
that whatever you're doing. So it's like with children, I try to read a lot. I try to like expand because I want to like pass on the knowledge, and that's what a lot of times you do with your children. The knowledge that we have been passed down from generation. It's not like our knowledge per se. It's our inherited knowledge from the DNA, from the quantum, from the soul realm. So a lot of times when the conversation isn't specific to that, and where we're at now is that we've allowed so many layers of bullshit to take us away from the soul that this is where I don't necessarily know who or they or what. This is where they want shit to be. Like they want it to be not reference to the soul. They want it to just be all over the place. So people is really trying to figure it out and sort their shit out by being all over the place. And
mhm.
talk to the average person right now and just really get a feel for it. You gonna find you gonna be scared. Like this nigga has no anchor whatsoever.
So when you think about the microcosm being a reflection of the macro, wouldn't this be also in comparison to the fact that most people, or not most people, a lot of people really just seek the idea of what money can do for them as opposed to really trying to obtain it? And when I say that, I mean like how we're saying in duality, a lot of people don't want to incorporate the other side of duality. It's almost the same way when it comes to money and success. Nobody wants to incorporate the work; they just want the end result type shit.
But if you ever was to pan out just very slightly, you would see somebody that love what they doing and would do it even if they got paid or not paid. But if I see somebody making a lot of money doing something and I'm focusing on the money, that's not going to help me get better at the thing, even if I got all of the tools and the talent. We see this every year with the NBA. Players that might have seen $100 million contract and think I'm gonna go to the NBA, but nigga, if you don't love it, you gotta actually love it to get to play at that level. You could be 6'8", you could be Ben Simmons, right? 6'10". The You could tell he don't love it like LeBron do, and it shows up in the game. He could be the next LeBron if he had the level of desire or passion. But this generation, not really.
Drive.
Yeah, drive. He played up until he got a contract and stopped playing. Think about how crazy that is in reference to like money and legacy. It always gonna taint it to me. Like
Mhm.
chase dollars, they always end up in a fucked up situation. Like the actor that just did any movie, like you don't look at him the same. You tell me you look at Kevin Hart the same.
Nah.
Halle Berry.
Same thing. Will Smith. You don't look at them the same.
Because it's like you literally sell out, right? You sell out, and it's like, yeah, the money, the money, the money, the money, the money, the money. But once again, we could be rich off of proper investments and compound interest. We don't need to make artistic decisions for money, if that makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
It makes perfect fucking sense. But tell a person that they don't have to go viral to make money, and they'll probably laugh at you at this point.
but that's the game. That's the 52 fake out, because it's so much to learn in this world. But like my son Azor, I could tell like his consciousness is very strong, and he listened to his consciousness, right? But his consciousness is not mature, so his consciousness always have him doing stupid shit. And
Mhm.
I could talk to him, but I know his consciousness is gonna override whatever I say, you know. So it's like that to me is just like the
That's a young god right there.
yeah, like that's spiritual in a sense where like you could be an ancient being and be like, yeah, fuck whatever this nigga talking about, yo.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
This nigga don't know shit about your destiny. And I
For real, yeah.
he kind of spitting right now. Like
Yeah.
I don't follow
Yeah.
subconscious.
It's
But
hard
like
to argue with that.
nah,
Yeah.
he started smoking shit. Like I be catching him though. Like he stole my lighter. And my wife's like, "What you got in your pocket?" And I see him drop it, and I'm catching him doing it. I'm like, "You almost got it. Like you almost got it down. But like, I'm gonna be on your ass though too. So it's like, we just gonna have to be in this Osiris and Horus battle time, nigga, because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if you just understand it, I think the mind and people and how it operates, if you understand it, you would be a lot more easier to deal with your family and friends, but you'll also come up with solutions because this shit is soft. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we gonna look at it moving forward. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, we make it hard. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this shit, like, I feel like when you look at the chart and you look at Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, and talking about this alignment that's going to take place over these next 9 years, I promise you, things that I never thought about, it just makes so much sense to me now, and I'm like, I got so many different ideas, and so looking at it a lot clearer. But it's like that's what awakening look like. But you got to have an open mind, though. And
Mm-hmm.
the problem, what I feel like a lot of people like really doing this work, like niggas ain't trying to change their mind, and I'll be damned if I dick suck just because I'm getting $50 for a reading. Oh yeah, you don't have to change, and the man like one day, you know what I'm saying? Don't even work out. Don't even straighten your hair. That's cool. Like just don't even do your hair. Like, yeah, man.
Just fill it all the way out.
Yeah, just let it. Yeah, gain weight. That don't matter. Guys don't even care about that type of shit. Like
Skip leg day. Ain't nobody looking at your legs.
leg day. Don't even work out, girl. A man is going to love you for you, and if he don't love you for you, yeah, your time, girl. That'll be $59.99. Thank you. You know how easy that is?
Yo, that is super easy, bro.
Yeah, I feel with that that alignment you were just speaking on, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. It's some things like about my life, how since, because I'm 33 today, since like
Today your
18
birthday?
No. I'm just saying, like right now in time. Yeah, no. My birthday in March. In
I
March.
thought
I
your
was about to
birthday.
say, I thought we did this a couple months back already.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like today, like in time, like
I got you.
33. But like reflecting on like my
I was about to
mind.
say
when I
that
was
nigga
18.
talking about all 5 of his lives. Like,
But I'm talking about, like, yeah, it is multiple lives when you think about the mind state I was in at 18 versus 21 to now. But in with respect to these planetary alignments, there's things that I thought about for my life or what I wanted for my life that the spirit is kind of saying like, nah, bruh, like that kind of life not really for you. I know you see that, see a lot of people with this kind of life, you know what I mean, this kind of setup, but that's not really where your happiness gonna be at, you know what I mean? Like that's not really for you, and it's kind of difficult gripping with what spirit is showing you, what's for you, and then what you grew up wanting for yourself, or just feeling like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, and then you talk to, your parents and stuff like that, and they affirming what you thought was for you, you know what I mean? And it's really fucking interesting. Just simple things about like just feeling like I'm supposed to hit certain milestones in my life as I get older, and haven't hit those. Just like social shit though, you know what I mean? Like popularity, marriage, children, a certain amount of money at work, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing well, but like I haven't hit those milestones that I thought I would have when I was 21, you know what I mean? But I'm not suffering, you know what I mean? The only suffering is feeling like, damn, bro, like I at least want to be able to say I did this,
FOMO? FOMO?
Yeah, kind of like FOMO, or yeah, it's another word, but it's like me just learning more and more to like trust spirit and not to live a life that I'm predicting for myself. You know what I mean? Allowing spirit to like guide me a little bit more, and just trusting it. You know what I mean? Because I've done it, but it's some things in life where it's just like, no, I want to do this. I want to have this experience. Whereas that might derail me. You know what I mean? That might take a lot from, what I see my potential as being a shaman. I've always felt like I was more spiritually mature than just about everybody in my family. And it's not like to down them, but it was just things that just clicked for me. You know, it was things that I've had conversations with my mom. Now my mom meditates every morning. She collect her stones. You know, she got her a whole practice. And I don't want to say it's because of me, but I see my influence on my mom. You know what I mean? And now it's to the point where like when I started getting into the Bible heavy, my mom joined the metaphysical church. You know what I mean? So it's those kind of things that like just is happening. And it's like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know I'm not gonna be in a bad place. You know, I just have to learn to trust more, you know, learn to trust spirit more. That shit ain't easy though.
It sounds like the age old battle, which is the only battle that really exists. You know,
It's you.
soul versus the ego.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because the ego is relentless in the fact that it doesn't know that it's finite, right? So when you tell yourself at 15, 16 that you're going to be this by 25, 26, and 30, and you don't get that, hardest thing is to reconcile that with the ego.
right,
Once you have to let the ego know that it's not in charge, you know what I'm saying? Like
right,
that's the hardest shit to do. Like the
right,
average
right.
person is not doing that. The average person is not in a combative existence with their ego because they actually think their ego is for them. So everything is almost about acquiescing to the will of said ego. But then when you don't reach that mountaintop like you said, and you don't reach that point of existence like you said, then it's hard to reconcile that, right?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
reconcile that the normal way, oh, just get it the next time, or oh, God has another plan. Well, what if you're not a God-fearing person, right?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a battle you're talking about. That's the only thing I want to say.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's very introspective and needed. Like these types of conversations because I don't think that it's like pressure, but more of transformation and evolution and natural growth. Like when you look at the sun in Leo, which is centered in tantric, more bodily sensation of, I would say, like the future, like you feeling it now, and hopefully you're able to transmute the base desires into spiritual faith, right? Because what are the base desires? Like in the Bible, they call that the abyss, right?
Hmm.
It's
The pit.
this of things that you can want and desire.
I call it the vagina.
Yeah, that's in there too.
One of those things too, is this number one on a lot of guys' lists, and I think that when you are threatened with like the loss of materials in any form, even in like reflecting, like what if I did this, right? And you thinking about it at first is going to like have you destroyed or feeling a certain type of way. But after that is a level of enlightenment because it's like the starting point of all ideas and all manifestations. So when you had started off earlier with working with Gemini energy and journaling, I think like depending on if you want like a major life shift, you know what I mean, then don't journal. But if you kind of want to just figure things out in a way, like a good thing to do is like process your fears. Why? Because the sun in Leo is dealing with your nervous system. If you do not process your fears, guess what? They're hijacking your nervous system.
Yup, yup, yup. I mean, you can't put it no simpler than that. Like, and it's a new moon coming up, so like, it's the time to do it.
That shit was perfect. Give me that timestamp because I'm clipping that.
44.
But yeah, 44 minutes.
But yeah, it's just something. It's something to this energy. I've been seeing it all over the place, and I'm like I don't know. Like people have been arguing. Like it's a weird type of energy with a lot of different things going on. And what's fucked up now is ain't nobody talking, so you can't really get a feel no
Yeah,
more.
it's that weird space, like when y'all when you and your man get into a weird argument and y'all don't talk for a couple days type shit. Like that's where it's at right now.
Yeah, it's
That nigga cheated in 2K, and his creative player is on steroids, and he's he's just trying to get over on the game right now because his creative player is not necessarily a creative player. He just took Michael Jordan and put his name on it type shit.
Oh, I had to go check on something. So, how y'all feeling? So I got some topics. Just want to know, check y'all temperature. Uh,
I'm here, brother.
yeah, I'm here too. The new moon will be in the first deacon of Leo, which is the five of wands.
yeah,
Uh,
I got new moon chart, and I have the card.
okay.
So just let me know how y'all want to rock out. So this is this Saturday. So prepping for the new moon in Leo, first deacon of Leo.
Which is the five of wands. Uh, five of wands is strife or like conflict. Um, to me, and the five deals with Mars, but this deacon in particular deals with Saturn, or it's ruled by Saturn. But all in short, I look at it like this spot on the zodiac wheel is like a place of purification. After you do that work in Gemini, Cancer is kind of like a short little break from it, and then it's like a continuation because I think once you truly do the integration work, do the shadow work, that's not the end of it. You know what I mean? Once you accept it, now you gotta put it in the furnace. You know what I mean? Now you have to alchemize it. And I think that's what like this deacon and this new moon will represent in a way. And also like putting something in the fire metaphorically is like allowing, your kundalini, you're allowing spirit to basically consume it. That's how I look at it, in proportion to how you cultivate your kundalini, that's going to be in proportion to the results that you're going to get.
To come out of hiding, express genuine self-love, and shine unapologetically, knowing the visibility can be healing, not just performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all shadow this time around, and I think it goes right back into how you started off the show. I think it's a matter of like you said, getting getting full hold of your projections. I think what Hood was speaking to a little while ago, what he alluded to with the energy being weird. The energy is weird for a lot of people because I think a lot of people aren't being honest with themselves, and therefore they're definitely not being honest with counterparts and people that are around them. It shows. It shows evidently, like in everybody that I'm around, to the point where I've shrunk myself just because I wanted to be able to hone in on my spirit because I can't I can't incorporate another person's uh, uh, modus operandi for any reason other than to, I don't know, appease their ego. Like I can't do that at this particular time. Um, I have done that, not forcibly, but inadvertently. Regardless, I've done it. You know what I'm saying? And I think now it's just one of those things where um, I just want to honor my shadow work. I want to honor my triggers. I want to honor whatever projections I put out there. I want to honor all of that shit and own it. And that's all that really matters to me, honestly.
Uh,
I agree. And just with the Kundalini and the Leo energy and Saturn and the discipline, it might not be everything that you wanted. I don't think discipline is ever like how you want it to be, but it is something that's very personal. That if you do have a body, if you do have legs and arms, you have something to be grateful for. I know that might seem cliche, but it's entering into a part of the sun and all of this energy with this materialism and it being an illusion. And it's like, yeah, some people can get with it, some people can't get with it. Okay, this consumer, this capitalist, this person that, we are becoming because of the inundation of like information, right? We getting all of this information that at a subconscious level we perceive it as valid, even if consciously we like, man, that's stupid, that's AI, right? Our subconscious mind can't differentiate between what's real and what's fake. So what we want, based upon all the options that we see and imagine for ourselves, can like get us outside of our discipline, inside of our body. And it's like some days, like I just would work out and like go to the beach. It's like I didn't really do nothing, but it's days where I spent thousands and I felt horrible. You understand? Like I felt good working out and going to the beach with my kids and shit. It's like that's a mature maturation for me, where I was really battling. Like, damn, I want to do something for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to take them somewhere, and like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take them to the beach because either spend $1,000 or $0. You know what I mean? Legit, spend $1,000, not even thinking about it nowadays.
So you spend half of that just being out the house a couple hours.
Fuck. Just doing random running errands. Oh, I gotta get some gas. Oh, there's $500. I spent $500 at the gas tank.
I wonder what this energy is doing for relationships. What say y'all?
Oh man, I know.
uh,
I know it's tough for real.
What you said?
yeah, oh, go ahead.
No,
No,
this is actually what he said.
I say I know it's tough.
Oh yeah.
What'd you say, Jabri?
Yeah, nah, uh it's definitely tough, and it's conversations that need to be had, but not so much conversations that need to be had, but it's more so of you need to make up your mind, because I think so often in relationships we want a certain person to do something. You know what I mean? We want that other person to make a move, or I wish you would just think like this. I wish you, no, fuck that. You need to get your ass up out of there. You know what I mean? Because this person is going to be who they are. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But I
I
think
think the time is
people
calling for
want
emotional
things,
transparency.
huh?
I was just saying, I think the time is calling for emotional transparency.
Yeah, and just to be accepting of it, you know what I mean? Because I think it's very easy for people to come to an agreement of, hey, I think, you know what I mean, you'll be better off with somebody else, I'll be better off with somebody else. Cool. You know what I mean? Wish you the best, you know what I mean? But it's so much bullshit from the media that motherfuckers will waste your time and play this game, you know. And so that's why I say it's on you. At the end of the day, you gotta think about, what do you want? What's God telling you, you know? And also just think about, like, why am I in this situation? That's the best question to ask. Like, I'm in this situation for a reason. What reason is it for? And just meditate on that,
What
you know.
happens if you don't even think you're in a situation, bro?
Then that's that NPC we talking about. But overall, yeah, man, I think it's gonna be real tough for people that have a certain expectation, and the expectation is not being met. You
Who
know,
gets disappointed more when expectations aren't met? Is it a gender thing? Is that a male woman thing, or is that just a life thing? Asking for a friend.
I want to say it's a life thing, but I think it's like a ninth house thing. You know what I mean? That person that wants to move forward with things and just concerned with, like, the development and then answering those questions about, like, life. You get what I mean? Where it wouldn't make sense for you to, like, link with somebody that doesn't have a activated ninth house. You know what I mean? Because to me, the ninth house is all about expansion, higher learning, your inner guru, being a guru potentially. So I think with ninth house energy, if you don't have no one that's receptive to the guru, or you don't have anybody that isn't, um, like, developing their inner guru, then it's just not gonna make sense. I think because if you're not doing that, you just probably just scrolling.
Is
You
there
probably
a is
just
there a
wasting
is there a
time.
such is there a such thing as a challenge to the guru?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yes, it is. I would say yeah. I would say yeah, because the one thing about the guru, and I think this is, like, really softening for the heart, is to see everyone as a guru. You know what I mean? Um, because at the end of the day, just because that person isn't what you want them to be, or isn't acting in a certain way, doesn't make them wrong. And sometimes you have to just sit back and just witness what's in front of you, I would say. you know and that's why I said, like, sometimes you have to ask yourself, like, okay, why did I choose to be in this situation? Even though, like, from an ego perspective, consciously, like, I don't know why I'm in this situation, but spirit wise, it's like there's some type of lesson that's right in front of me. You know what I mean? There's something, um there's some type of breakthrough, right before me. You know, all I have to do is be receptive to it. All I have to do is like open my hands, per se. You know what I mean? Or open my heart or lighten my heart. Um, but a lot of times we get that inner dialogue, that echo chamber, you know, of how shit should be, and I'm this, so you know what I mean, and
The indoctrination, yeah.
yeah, and you just make yourself mad, you know what I mean, and then that person in your head is an even worse person than they actually are, you know, and now you the crazy.
Yeah, because society will tell you that FOMO is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like, I guess being in relationships, like if I was like, I guess I could never really do it practical, because practical to me is like, who is the decider of who's right or who's wrong?
Yeah.
So my thing is, I try to like live spiritually based, and like you said, like see everybody having a soul and really trust in that soul. Cause it's like me, I like am in like a fairy tale, like I'm in love type shit. So I just be more of like enjoying the relationship a lot of times, or enjoying the person a lot of times. But I also have been in relationships where that wasn't the case. And so everything became like irrational. Like I'm think it became like a exercise, like like a thought puzzle. But in retrospect, like when I connect the dots, it just was like I really didn't like them. And I just kind of was just like trying to justify it in so many different type of ways that like when you in love, it's not even nothing about the girl. It's everything about me, the person that I'm just like. It's like when you in love, you just appreciate the moments that you have together, because at the very least you figure one of y'all going to die, and that's going to be sad as fuck. So you just like, well, if I'm gonna be with you for the next 40 years, it's going to be lit. But I can also
But
be with
that
a girl. Hold on, I could also be with a girl that I just like feel like it's just like, yeah. And then think about like 40 years with this bitch. Like what the, like I get, like it's just like two different directions of love that I'm just like, man, I'm gonna just really be spiritual when it comes to this relationship shit.
Mm-hmm.
but that sounds like you describing the love for your soul and not necessarily the love for that woman. And I think that's a distinction that needs to be elucidated just a little bit for the practitioner and the listener, because not everybody knows about the soul and the soul love and its necessity, therefore.
I mean, it's just like any opportunity that you get by yourself, you spend it in joy. This is like before you get the girl, right? What niggas do when they don't have a girl is they either be like lazy, disheveled, you know what I mean? Like just
Man,
sad.
yeah,
Nobody love me, you know?
Woe
man,
is
I be
me,
living like
woe is me, ass boy, looking at it,
Yeah,
boy.
I'll be living like a Larry June song, man. Take my car to the to the car wash, go to
yeah.
Whole Foods, give me a watermelon juice, roll me one
Listen,
up.
I love the idea of a woman in a relationship as much as anyone else, nigga. But I live alone. I sleep alone. I do everything alone, and I am ecstatic, nigga. I don't know what the fuck niggas is talking about when they say depressed because they alone type shit. I could never be alone, my nigga. I actually
Mm-hmm,
have a soul. Like I could never be alone.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I think you ain't gonna really understand that if you are alone and sad and you need a woman. You approach women like, I need you.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do without you.
You approach a woman from a desperation point, and they
Yeah.
can smell that shit on you. They can smell that shit on you, bro.
It's only one.
Those pheromones, those pheromones pop up too, and they're
The
not
thirsty
good.
pheromones.
They're not good ones. Nigga.
It's only one word. Ugh.
What's the new shit they say now? Give me the ick. Yeah, that gives the
Oh
woman
yeah, I heard
icks,
that.
my
Yeah.
nigga. Like, be desperate all you want. Like, it is not in her nature, nigga, to console you, nigga. Like, you need to understand that.
And that's even within a relationship. So that brings you always back to, like, if you don't know what to do, you're gonna need support. Sometimes your girl can be a support, sometimes she can't be. But the goal is not to suffer in this relationship shit. But when we don't deal with our soul for whatever reason, because we have a girl or we don't have a girl, we're gonna suffer. And a lot of times we could have a lot going for ourselves, not be grateful, and that illusion is the suffering within itself. Because it's like it's so much that it's like you could be grateful for, and even your girl. So it's like you just gotta like, and it goes back to what you were saying about the ninth house. Like, people really have to figure it out within themselves, because it's dangerous if you keep looking outside of yourself, because you're gonna really drive yourself crazy.
But not only that, you end up bringing another person down unnecessarily if you're not emotionally transparent about this kind of shit.
Mhm.
That always be the shit that I concern myself with. Like, if I'm lacking conscious awareness of my being, right? Like, how much of that shit is spilling onto other people? You know what I'm saying? How much of that shit am I putting into my conversations? How much of that shit am I putting into how I'm treating random people in the street that I see every day? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that is a real self evaluation thing that you're supposed to do. Now, how often a person does it is inconsequential unless you actually care about other people. But I'm speaking to it from the standpoint that um, it matters how you bleed on people, bro. It really does.
But I would say you could also uplift and heal, and but it goes into, like, being a good person, and then having a woman, and she not gonna appreciate that shit. So you better be in love with her, because that's not something that ever going to change in a woman. She not gonna like care what you do for her. That you gotta do that shit because you want to do it. You gotta get you a woman that you want to do it for. You can't be like, well, I like her because she praised me for what I do.
That's super spiritual.
That's not unconditional. That's conditional, and that get men in trouble. You know how many rich men get rich men get divorced, not poor men.
Yeah, only rich niggas get divorced because you can't a poor nigga couldn't afford divorce.
Yeah, you ain't going to alimony 20.
Like, the poor nigga would go to fucking bankruptcy before the fucking paper was signed. Like, what, nigga? Like, nah.
Well, base it off your income, they be like, all right, you get $20 a month. You know,
Can you imagine the fucking conclusion being $20 a month, bro? Oh my gosh.
nah, most people that don't got money that file for a divorce, they do it pro se, and it ain't even like if you got money and you got a lawyer, that's why. It wasn't never think about it, right? If you in a situation with a girl and there's lawyers involved in courts, just know your ass, that girl wanted you for this moment right here and now. Cause like we don't think about it. We not strategic. We just be like, we in love, she love me. But shit, she love the fact that she ain't gotta work another day in her life. Same way you would too, but shit. Just
Mm-hmm.
differently. So it's like, man, if you're not madly in love, I don't even know why you would even be in a relationship because you could do so much fly shit. Like, cause and it's a sacrifice too. Like, it's relationships is hard as fuck. Let's
Yeah.
put that out there.
But that's the shit though, right? Like, I had two questions at the top of my mind when we were talking about this shit in the pregame. And the first thing that came up to my mind was, do you ever get tired of complaining about your fucking situation if you stay in said situation? And two, who told you your life was supposed to mimic struggle all the way through? Like, this is what I think about when I hear about people in their fucking relationships, bro. Like, who told you you were supposed to stay in that and just get up and complain about the person every fucking day? Like, who told you you were supposed to do that? And don't you get tired of it? Those are the questions I have for that shit, bro. Because I hear about the fucking complaints and the judgments about each other at all the fucking time, and I'm trying to figure it out. Why are you there?
Yeah, I think it's like a projection loop or something. But I think some people have like masochistic spirits, and it's exciting for them. You know what I mean? Like it's a certain level of excitement, and then like I think, yeah, I really think it's like a masochistic level on like
So people are pain junkies.
spirits.
Niggas is pain junkies then.
You said what?
Niggas is pain junkies then.
Yeah. I think some people are. And I think it goes beyond like physical pain. I think people really like that shit. Just like you have a dominatrix that will whip you with leather and put you in a cage. People like to be done that way on a psychological level.
Psychologically, niggas think they in a BDSM episode of shit.
And I think some people come here for that, like on a spiritual level, but not to go on like a crazy tangent. I just think if you're not conscious of like your projections, or you can't catch yourself, it's that much more difficult for you, because relationships is already difficult for two healthy people that reasonably want to figure a relationship mechanics out, you know what I mean? But for two people that are like, or just one of them, you know what I mean, is just constantly projecting, constantly complaining, got all these different problems. I couldn't imagine it, to be honest. Like, there's enough problems when you both are on your square, you know what I mean, for lack of better words. It's just, yeah. Busting windows and shit.
Alright, I kicked
waking your neighbors up and old lady across the street like, I just thought they were just the nicest couple ever. And now you know what I mean?
Cops is outside every day.
Right. Now every time y'all pull up or leave, she looking through her blinds and shit.
Oh shit.
It's I guess if you ain't, I think it's just one of those things now where people don't have the tools and they trying to build relationships without tools. So it's like it could be one person that like more or less like a man. I don't know if a woman can like love a man. Like I was just thinking like if you had a girl that like gave you rides everywhere and gave you everything and shit like I don't know.
I mean, eventually, even she gonna talk shit about you, nigga. Like, eventually, that's gonna run out, right?
Yeah, like so I just
At one point, she could be like, "You gonna pay for anything, nigga?" Like,
Yeah.
men, you just gotta like I think like you just gotta tap into your testosterone. You gotta really max out for yourself.
now we tapping in. Okay, go ahead, big bro.
Now I'm just saying you just gotta tap into yourself in whatever situation you is in, you can be a better man. And you need to be obsessed with that because what's the reality? She might like you, might not like you, right? It's gonna be a weird little. You're not even never gonna be sure. It's if you. I'm gonna tell you what. If your girl is the type of girl that you in love with, you gonna have a. I don't care if you're 50 years old. Your girl should be the type of girl that other niggas want to a certain degree. To whereas you a little uneasy. If you got the type of chick that you like, man, ain't nobody gonna want my girl but me. Like,
Hey, you know, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that
You know,
because
that might be the healthiest thing anybody is gonna hear all fucking week. I swear to
yeah,
God. I swear to
no,
God.
like
Say
for
that again,
real,
bro. Say
for
that again,
real.
bro.
It,
Because
it
this is
took
a
me
new
a
wave
minute
going
too.
on. This is a new wave going on now when niggas is bragging about they BBW love. I'm just saying, based on what you talk about, big bro, I need you to go in.
Nah, and just to add a little bit to that, like it took a while to get there to really understand that. You know, it took a little minute to understand that. You know, because that's the truth. That's the truth, bro. It's
If
the
you're
truth.
sleeping with
'Cause
somebody
I
that
think at
ain't
the end of the
nobody
day,
checking for,
yeah, because at the end of the day, that's the reason why you even like that person in the first place.
in the first place, think about it. Like, think about it. If you get into a relationship for the wrong reasons and you like with somebody, you gonna be with them for the wrong reasons, like long term. So you gotta
Mhm.
kind of like sort that out. And I'm not talking about women, right? I'm talking about a man that's gonna like pour into this. Like you gonna be the one that's paying for shit, nigga. Like you let
yeah, you need to wipe the nails that you paying for, nigga, in
like
your
you need
hair.
to like her, dog. Like you need to like her. Because
Yeah,
think about it. You're gonna do the same thing regardless.
yeah,
Yeah. With
yeah,
any chick, like with the chick in general, you're gonna do that shit.
You're
So
gonna pay.
at
yeah,
least be into it while you're doing it,
Yeah,
type shit.
yeah.
like damn, I like her. Like she look good. Like just weird shit like that, like to make you just be motivated.
Mm-hmm. One
Because you're
thousand
going to
percent.
do it anyway.
You gonna do it. Now just imagine if it's reversed and you be like, damn, I wish you would help me. Imagine if you needed her to help you, nigga. It's gonna be a sad day in October, nigga. She tell you, no, I ain't about to do that. You need to ask somebody else.
You call your man to borrow $20 for some loud.
Yeah, nah. I already had plans with this money. Like, you gotta be careful, man. Cause I mean, I wouldn't even want no girl to love me the way I love her, bro. I don't even want all of that, bro. That's a lot. You know,
No,
I
that's too
just,
much.
yeah, it's like too much, bro. You doing too much. Like, what?
That's interesting.
Oh, I swear to God, I love this
Think
nigga.
about
Yo,
it.
man, that shit is perfect, bro. That shit is perfect, bro.
Think about it. Niggas be really wanting a man. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you be really
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You want over love, nigga. Like
yeah,
you like what do niggas complain about the most, right? Oh, it's a thankless job. Ain't nobody gonna acknowledge. Yeah, nigga. Like
yeah.
if you was doing it for acknowledgement, my nigga, you was already in fail mode anyway, right? You was already in fail mode, nigga. There wasn't gonna be nothing for you to recoup after that, nigga. Like
Elmo.
you already sold your soul, nigga. Like essentially, like the fuck. But think about that shit. If she love you more than you love her, holy fucking shit. How long before you annoyed?
You annoyed because she like, baby, I'm outside. I'm about to come pick you up. Like, what the fuck you mean you about to come pick me up? Like,
I
yeah,
ain't even call you. We ain't even talk
I
about
ain't
this.
calling you. Like, yeah, she protecting you. Like, nigga, what? What, nigga? What you looking at my nigga for, nigga? Like, what? She all out of pocket. Like,
You
she
want, you
like,
want your nigga in the street like that as soon as you come home. She's like, my nigga's home. My nigga's home. Hello, my nigga.
Oh man.
we need different type of love, man. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
But I'm telling you, it's like, man, a woman, bro, a woman will love you as much as you love yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
you gotta figure out how to be happy because like that's her beef with you, right? Your depression, your sadness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you could save this, you could save her life, and it's still not going to resonate when you sad, because she gonna look at you sad. She not gonna be like, damn, he's sad, let me help him. She gonna be like, damn, this nigga's sad. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, think about the idea of being that nigga, but still wanting your partner to be submissive. Holy fucking shit. How does that work? Right? You got her to follow you. She followed you word for word, line for line. Right? But then you get depressed and she can't figure that out.
Exactly. It shows you a bad leader,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Because if I
like,
followed you, if I followed you and I did everything that you said to do and it worked, but then when it comes time for you to do for you, you hesitant and you on the fence, why the fuck am I following you?
Mm-hmm.
and to a second degree, you can help and you could be like, do this, do that. But at the same time, you better be doing that shit for you, because I can help you till I'm blue in the face, but we gonna lose because I'm not helping myself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's cool if you want to listen, but if you don't want to listen, I still love you. So it's like when you dealing with a woman, you really gotta be with somebody that you love as much as your kids, because your kid can be any type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be like, oh, I don't like some weirdos, but most parents love their
Mm-hmm.
kids for who they are. And
Regardless,
you treat your
unconditionally.
girl the same way, who for who
Mm-hmm.
she is, right? Because when you start, and it don't work the same on the other side, because like she can have expectations all she want, but shit, what is the expectation at the end of the day? Like vice versa, like motherfuckers got lives that they really need to take care of. Like, and it'd be like, you got somebody, cool. But if you're gonna play this certain type of expectation game, you got a cheater on your hands sooner or later. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She not happy, he not happy, niggas
Yeah.
going cheating. But if
And
you're
and
alone, you don't cheat.
and if you showing signs of depression and mental struggle and all of that, then you don't have the intestinal fortitude that's necessary for her to follow.
And it goes back to what Jabri was saying earlier, like having faith. And the higher power is your secret key. Cause like, yeah, it can happen, but you're gonna need to bounce back. How you gonna bounce back if you don't have a relationship with some form of a higher power? And that's the relationship. That's the ruler of the relationship. That's who has the final say.
Mm-hmm. Where's your pivot point at? Do you have the ability to pivot? Do you
Yep.
have the ability to compartmentalize and have a short-term memory? So what? You shot 3 for 19 yesterday, nigga. You need to get 30 shots up today. Period. Just clip, Big Hood. This the one I put in the chat.
Men are not thinking about when you are upset about a woman that you're choosing is that we ultimately want to submit to the leadership of our partner. Most women want to be soft in their homes. Most women want to be led by their partner, especially feminine women. Let me not say most women. Feminine women want to be led. So that's who I'm speaking to right now. Masculine men want to lead. Well, this is the thing. If I'm making all the decisions for the household because I don't question where my rent is going to come from. I have a car, like all the things you just said. I'm like, oh, I did that 15 years ago. You know, so the conversations are a little bit different. And I feel like if you have to juggle between how am I going to put food in my fridge, gas in my car, and also pay my rent on time, because at a time when I first moved to America from Canada at 20 years old, that was my story. That was a long time ago, and that's no longer my story. So if that's your story, great. Go be with somebody that has that similar story. Go be with somebody else.
That's the extreme example. Though.
That's the extreme.
Okay. The conversations that we have, and women are literally saying, "I make $300,000 a year. If he makes $100K, he's not valuable."
But wait, Doc, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying it's about leadership. It's about leadership. So for me,
but money doesn't equate to leadership at all.
Let me finish. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are going to lead me in the ways, that means you need to have the mindset. That means you need to have the mentality, the emotions, the spirit, the energy, the physical. And that's why I said in the beginning, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You cannot use 7 because that's how I measure success. It's not just about the money. If all you have is money, you're broke. And to a woman, if all you have is your body, you're broke too. Y'all deserve each other. That's the modern day woman I'm talking about, and the men. They deserve each other. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to lead this household, I don't want to have to slow down to let you pass me up.
Let's speak about the women who are not feeling, because it's so extreme that the average woman doesn't make that much money.
That's true.
Right? So when we're speaking about extremes, we're speaking about your specific situation, right? And we are not accounting for the actual listener. The actual listener is making 50, 70, maybe 80, right? So what happens to the man that only makes 50, 70, 80? Is he now completely disqualified? Because we completely changed the conversation. We said average. Now we're talking about men that make $300,000 a year. We can't even keep the conversation to the same topic of the average man. He's still being bypassed in the conversation. So if he's being bypassed in the conversation where we can't even stay on topic and talk about the man, imagine the women that's listening to the conversation, their mind is still going to the $300,000.
Or that 50, 60, 70,000 earning man. There is still a desire for you at some point to make enough to where your wife doesn't have to work.
Yes.
Are people not able to make a living and provide a beautiful life with $50,000? That's crazy. That is exactly what he said. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. It's a person. And to allude to a person, if a person makes under a certain amount of money, to say that they don't have the ability to lead, provide, and have all of these things, that's exactly what y'all are saying. Y'all are going around about a way to say it, but that's how people are perceiving the things that y'all say. And when y'all speak, y'all completely discount a large portion of the world, right? Because you only speak towards your experience, and that's not fair to the average listener.
I agree with that. Again, but I also feel like, in a minute in the comment section, don't tell me if I'm wrong. I believe if you're making $50,000, $60,000 right now, I believe you still have a desire. Even if your family is happy with you, your wife is happy with you, there's a desire in you to make enough to where she may not have to go to work one day. To make enough to where your kids ain't got to worry about whether they can pay for college or not.
But before you even get there.
But I'm saying there's a desire for that to happen.
The desire is there.
The desire is there. And here's the thing. The desire is there. A lot of men, they're more concerned about making that finances and that security because they want to give it to somebody. They want to provide it to somebody.
Yes.
So it's that innate thing that we have.
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying on the flip side, I can understand why a woman would be attracted to a man's desire to do that.
There's a component of this that we are missing, and that is that men that are not happy with where they are financially are fucking mean. They treat you terribly, okay? And I feel like there's a space for that. And this is why I'm saying that it's not that you're not valuable to me, but there's a room and a lane for everybody that I feel like makes it safe.
That shit ain't had nothing to do with the conversation. Like, what is
Yeah, or the title, like, yeah,
she just wanted to get that off.
30%, yeah.
It was saying how like most people don't have it, but at the same time, it's not clocking to them that they don't have it themselves. So we need to be a little bit more like tolerable and working with each other. But it's like if you don't have it as a man, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you. So like even if you don't have it or you do have it, I don't think that's really what they looking for. Remember what she said? Men that don't have it are mean. Like so you
Mm-hmm.
sad that you broke. Like so whatever you going through mentally and you got a woman that you love, you in love with,
Mm-hmm.
you need to figure it out emotionally before you figure it out financially. If it came down to it, she would stay with you in a shack if you happy.
Mm-hmm. In a
So,
vacuum, yes, she would. Yes, she would.
so if you mean and rich, she gonna divorce you, take all your money.
Yeah, like what does she mean by mean? Like, is
That's
it
why I said it didn't
dude
go with
that
the
make
fucking
50?
conversation.
Yeah,
It's
dude
it's,
make
the, it's
50K
her
ain't
nature that she's telling you though. She's giving you her
just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's speaking through her
right,
trauma. That's her
right,
trauma
right,
speaking right there.
right. Daddy issues.
Or just the last, the baby daddy or the last dude that she messed with. Like she might have messed with a nigga that was broke. You smell
Or
me?
just oh, I'm thinking not even broke. It's just wasn't going to just give her money. You get what
That
I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah, because they
Because
call that broke too. What else do they
even
call broke? Niggas that like
they
women
call
that
it
wear
they
natural
call it
hair,
mean.
like
They
yeah,
call
yeah,
it
they call it
mean, like
mean.
because they gon' and not even in a
And,
malicious
and-
way. I don't think in an intentional way, but like once you say nah, we not doing that, it's always gonna be like, man.
mhm, mhm,
But
mhm.
nah, shut up, go on. You know what I
And
mean?
mean is a
That's that.
dog whistle. Mean is
Yeah,
a dog whistle for me when I hear it from women. Mean? Nah, that means you're not getting your way.
yeah, yeah,
And your emotions can't manipulate the situation in order for you to get your way.
yeah. You know what my mom used to say when me and my sister used to tell her she was mean?
Mhm,
She used to look us dead in our face. She was like, I try to be. And
mhm.
that used
Mhm,
to just kill us, man.
mhm, mhm.
My mom
Because
used to
what,
be like,
what
try to
that's
be.
telling the parent or what that's telling the other person is you're searching for sympathy so much so to the point
Yeah.
that you want to tell me that you want my sympathy without telling me you expecting my fucking sympathy. You out of your fucking mind? I try to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. The fuck? Yeah, I think I think she's speaking through her trauma, but I also think that Sarah just doesn't want to come out and say she has a number in mind for her partner, but she has a number in mind for her partner. Every time she speaks from a point where she's framing it around um um the men that I have access to or the people that I'm around on a day-to-day basis live like this, and I'm just not going to accept anything but that. That is not good reasoning or solid reasoning whatsoever, but okay. You know what I mean? Like that, they let her get that off in this echo chamber stuff, but she has a number. She just doesn't want to come out and say, hey, I got a fucking number.
Hmm.
Because they went from
Hmm.
70 grand to 300,000. What?
Yeah, I think you talking about the one who hair is back.
Yeah, the one who's leading the conversation.
Yeah. It seemed like this is a wrong
Mm-hmm.
group for
Mm-hmm.
her. Like I don't think she really fit in with them. She needs to get, a panel with women that's making the kind of money that she say she making. And
Mm-hmm.
they talk about what's going on with them because, you know,
The womenpreneurs.
yeah, like it's even at work, you know what I mean? It's people that make a certain amount of money usually work with each other,
Mm-hmm.
from low wage, mid salary to, higher salary to CEO, you know
To
what I mean?
executives.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, like they work with each other, you know what I mean? It's just how it is,
Yeah,
So
like the executive is not taking out the custodian to get drinks.
yeah, nah, maybe at the company party they don't talk, you know what I mean? But on a day-to-day basis, they don't, they job duties, they just don't correspond. You know what
They
I
can't
mean?
relate. Yeah, they can't
Yeah,
relate to
like
one
they
another.
they they do different things. You know what I mean? They in different places. They got different responsibilities. So I don't see why, you got CEOs, janitors talking about, you know what I mean, their duties and getting I don't even really like I don't get it. It's like they kind of like let's just get in the room and talk about this shit. It's not really no. It's just
Rhyme or
everybody trying to
reason.
get their shit off for real.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody trying to help you.
Yeah.
yeah. This is not the help panel at all. No, this is a bunch of people arguing through their shit because they can't talk about their shit normally. And I think these conversations serve to hurt more than they do help because again we have a bunch of echo chamber talking points and we have a bunch of people speaking in generalized terms about personal situations and personal endeavors that don't line up. And when you throw in caveats like celebrity and clout and all of that, and then we're talking about numbers on the back end, like it where is the solution? Where is the productive conversation within that? I don't know.
No, it's not. But I mean, it's for people to project on Sarah and whoever else is on there based upon whatever they going through. And it's entertainment, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's the same shit that's going on where people are trying to add, like I said earlier, the layers that pull people away from their soul, advice, right? That's another layer. Like somebody going to tell you, like I'm going through something personally, and then you going to ask somebody, and they're going to give you a generalized answer. That can never be valid. Like if you really going through something and you really need help, you might need to talk to a psychiatrist and then set yourself up for some therapy afterwards. Really get to the bottom of it. Like online getting dating advice, like you don't even wash your ass.
They already say internet dating is dangerous. Why would you take dating advice from the internet?
Yeah, I don't see it, man.
Look at these apps. They talking about all these people getting indicted and stuff on the app. Why would you go to the same internet to learn how to? I don't know, man. It's just I don't fucking know what's going on, man. Damn.
Yeah, this shit is it's definitely a cooked situation, man.
And like, hmm. So the person that's moderating or leading the conversation is probably single.
Yeah, for sure. Most of the people on the panel and doing this is single because it's good for the grift, right? Having a
Mhm.
relationship, I don't know. It gives you some validation. And I'm imagining the advice that people need to hear and what they want to hear. So you got to be good at rhetoric. And the best, like, it's not really about anything besides views. And so, got to look good and sound good and empathize. But this whole infrastructure is like super viral. Everybody is listening to it. It's not going to bring you no closer to having a relationship because what is that going to be? You have to deal with yourself.
That's the thing that they don't want to do.
Right. That's the thing in all, like, if you single right now and you've been going through boyfriends and girlfriends, something wrong with your ass. You need to fix it. Cause somebody telling you perfect and this is what's wrong with the men or this is what's wrong with the women, that's not going to help you. You know,
Yep.
I don't know.
It's gonna just get you to do more of the shit that got your feelings hurt in the first place.
It's a never ending cycle. And the sad thing about the cycle is that I've seen it happen forever. It don't stop like until you change, till you really correct yourself and not play. And I think like the
Uh,
generation, we are the people that's really introducing changing
You said
your.
that's really what?
We the people that's really introducing changing yourself, right, over changing your environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the yeah, y'all right about that. The only one, the guy with the hat and the girl with the blonde hair that's essentially bald. Those two are a couple. They are married. The rest of them are single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and his wife are dope. They talk online together and shit. But yeah, this is some just a projection conversation. I agree with everything that y'all said.
Do y'all know the podcast Poor Minds?
The
Two black
horrible
women.
decision girls. You talking about the horrible
Yeah,
decision girls? Yeah.
yeah, and it was an episode where Sierra was on there, and the way
Mm-hmm.
Sierra talked about marriage, I was like, wow, this you don't hear, and it's not even like specifically like married women, just like you don't really hear married people really just talking about relationships online. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
always a single person or a person that is trying some some weird shit. You know what I mean? With a bunch of partners and stuff like that. It's not even people that's truly living a polyamory or polygamous life. You know what I mean? That's sharing information, or true married people that's sharing information. It's always weird single people that's talking about all that shit. But it was really cool just to hear Sierra just talk about marriage, and it was almost like the two hosts on the show, they were kind of gagged, because they really didn't have nothing to say, you know what I mean? Whereas if you see
Yeah,
clips
because they
from like
jump
other
offs and they
episodes,
they jump off chicks and they thought they was
and
getting some tea on that shit.
that's what they are, and they are, and you can verify that they are that by the things that they say about themselves,
Yeah,
but it's
they had a
almost
show
like,
called Horrible Decisions, like
yeah,
horrible
but
decisions.
it's interesting because with Sierra, it's like yeah, I want that too, but niggas is this, or it's just like, I don't know, man. But it was really cool just to hear Sierra just talk about being a wife. You know what I mean? Not saying like, oh, I need somebody like Sierra. It was just cool just to hear someone talk about a relationship that's being sustained through accepting oneself. You know what I mean? And understanding that that person gonna have to do that for themselves as well. It's just one of few examples, you know what I mean, that we see, especially for, you know, North American Negroes lost in the wilderness of North America to have.
Yeah, yeah, it's not often that you hear about people being successful in their relationships. Not often at all. Or at least not in this current
Yeah,
algorithm.
yeah. Or just like just having a conversation about it from that perspective. Because I mean, I know it ain't, I know it's some shit about it that can't be easy, you know what I mean? It can't be the best thing ever, but we don't, it seems like we just don't get enough input from people. I guess, when marriage is going good, it ain't nobody talking about it. There's only one shit going bad that people want to talk about it.
Yeah, goodness, happiness, and joy doesn't sell.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's like the doctor that sells you a cure, they losing the patient. And
Mm-hmm.
the algorithms for the dating app. If they get you married, then you won't be able to use the dating app no more. I think they just operate under the same formula where they know you broken and they know you hurt, but if they heal you, you're not going to need them no more.
Sort of like the perfect bank loan. Bank loans were never given with the concept of you getting ahead. No,
Damn.
it's so you can actually come back and need another motherfucking loan, nigga.
Eventually.
Dating apps is a banking app. Is a bank loan
That's
app,
it. It's a bank
basically.
loan, bro.
That's
Look,
so
we might not come for 15 years to collect, but nigga, when we come to collect,
you gonna pay what you owe.
there's no question you gonna pay with a pound of flesh, nigga, one way or another. One way or another. That could be literal, that could be figurative. That depends on what you got in your account, nigga.
I wonder what people think about that are like actively dating. You know what I mean? Like to know that the apps out there are like they want you to be a dater for life.
Niggas don't
You know
care
what I
about
mean?
that because if that was the case, the niggas wouldn't need 22 iPhones and 22 Androids, right? You would buy one year, my nigga, and you would be done.
Hmm.
You would be done. But no, you need to upgrade every year. Every motherfucking year, you need to upgrade. And we're gonna sell this with the intent of you not knowing that you need this upgrade. Because the last one we sold you got a lifespan on it, nigga. So regardless of how long you want to keep that thing, it's going to die. You're gonna need another one. That's what they do with TVs, cell phones, fuck
Yep.
anything electronic. They give it to you, they sell it to you with the intent behind it being that this has a shelf life. Once that shelf life run out, nigga, you got to re-up. Most TVs they make, especially plasma TVs, them shit shelf life is only about a year and a half, 18 months. Most laptops is only 2.5 years. Anything longer than that, you on borrowed time. They're
Hmm.
anticipating you needing another device
Hmm.
because that's how they sell it to you in the first place. There's a reason why those fucking TVs is so cheap on Black Friday, my nigga.
Man, I remember when flat screens was like a thing, like 2008, maybe 2010. TVs was like 1,300, not a motherfuckers. It's 199.
Yeah, niggas was thinking about Back to the Future 2. First time you saw that shit. So the big screen on the TV and shit. I mean,
Yeah,
on the wall.
yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Is there any more clips?
I
Um,
think he had. I don't know if you checked those Jubilee clips I put in there. I'm not sure if I picked the right ones for you. But there's two clips in there with the 20v1.
mhm.
Discord, Cash App, email.
Set the stage for this, big bro. What you wanted to discuss on this?
Yeah, it's something like I really want to like examine it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that I've just been really into in reference to what we have been talking about earlier about just being black in this country and shit just being weird. Whereas Africans will tell you something wrong with you, you just need to work harder or whatever the case may be. Regardless of anything, like it's a thing that's happening where history don't matter. Only thing that matters is that black people kill other black people, which is just not is not ever true because white people kill white people. Chinese people kill Chinese people. Russians kill Russians. You never heard of Russian on Russian crime. So black people like with this root ideology and across the board, I think like the whole debate is fascinating. But I will my whole plan is to just review it in detail because I feel like it's just something that it needs to be pointed out in certain areas. But this is a clip of Candace Owens and a young lady, and I think they're about to talk about black on black crime. So yeah.
I think we're on the same. We're kind of looking at the same side of the same coin, and I think because I think we both want the betterment of the Black community, and I think we're maybe coming from it from different ways. And so I do respect your position to what you were saying as well, that there are certain things and powers at play. And I've experienced racism firsthand. A lot of conservatives may try to act like, oh, there's no racism in America. I absolutely believe there is racism in America. I believe racist people exist. I just don't think that the systems as they stand today are inherently racist because I've seen too many Black people overcome. And I just feel like a lot of times what's left out of the dialogue is self-accountability. Self-will. We talked about how we were 3/5 of a person, but now we are 100%, I guess, according to the law or whatever, a person. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you wanted to walk out here right now and decide, you know what, I want to change my career, I want to do that, you can. And that's why so many people, and Nigerians come here, and Indians come here, and so many people who are not white, who are supposed to be discriminated against because they're not white, they come here and they become doctors and lawyers. Why? Because to your point, there's community. There's a sense of pride about, you know what, I got to go honor my parents back in Nigeria. I am part Nigerian. I have to go honor my parents. I have to go honor my elders. They're not twerking and shaking booty. They're getting.
They are literally twerking and shaking booty in
the
Nigeria.
Nigerians I know ain't doing it. They are
We
twerking and shaking.
literally learned it from Africa.
They're doctors twerking and shaking booty. So maybe they can shake because they got the money to back it up. But do you see what you're saying? But do you see what I'm saying though? We have to be honest, Amanda.
Well, as a fellow daughter of an immigrant, right? So my mother's from Grenada. My mother did come here and was able to work and was able to get green cards for folks. So shout out to my mom. There's a very big difference in growing up somewhere and coming from a place where you are the majority and where your people are running the show than being somewhere where your people have been subjugated the entire time your people have been here.
But your mama came here and she wasn't the majority, so how did she succeed?
She succeeded because she came here with the fortitude of coming from a place.
Her resilience, right?
No, but
and she had her village.
let me say what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll let you unpack.
If we don't acknowledge divide and conquer in the United States, we are having a pointless conversation.
I agree.
We have to acknowledge that there is a concerted effort at divide and conquer in the United States. We're literally watching it happen right now with an effort to divide and conquer and have Black people fighting immigrants and have Black people saying that immigrants don't matter.
So fighting white people.
White people is not the point. The concept of white people is about people who are upholding as a supremacy of whiteness versus people who understand that there should be an egalitarianism. There should be an equality.
We are becoming the new white supremacists.
We are.
We've been putting them on a pedestal.
We are.
We feel like we can't do anything.
No, it's not that we're putting them. It's not that we're putting them on a pedestal. It's that we are joining them and instead weaponizing our Blackness against our people. When we do what you're saying, we are saying, I am better because I figured it out, and so you're the problem because you didn't figure it out.
But what about if I believe that the American dream is, I have a right to that as well? Is that me joining white people, or is that me saying, you know what, I want to like dream? The American dream for me, because it may look different from other people. Some people it's a ball shake. For me, I want my kids to grow up in a wonderful neighborhood. I want them to go to college. I want to have a 401k. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I feel like a lot of times in the Black community, we associate anything that's right or that's just or that's striving forward with whiteness. So when you say that we're working with them,
it's not that it's whiteness, it's capitalism. And I think that's what we have to understand the difference of. The concept of capitalism always is grounded in exploitation.
But so we're sitting here benefiting from capitalism, and you know that because you would. I
understand that we are benefiting. I understand that we are benefiting from capitalism, but I also understand that we would have other people and a majority of people benefit if we were not solely capitalist. That is what it means to be a Black radical. It's to understand that I can benefit as well as others.
So, Amanda, what is your solution then? Because we know that capitalism benefits us, and people are coming
here every day. My
solution
is what I continue to say. We need to have coalition building across cultural differences, across ethnicities, across classes.
And that includes collaborating with white people.
I've never said it didn't.
But
this obsession with white people fails to acknowledge the fact that there are people who benefit from white supremacy.
But we live in America,
let me finish my point. There are people who benefit from white supremacy that do not identify themselves as white. They don't consider that to be the most important element of their identity because they understand that at the end of the day, we need to see each other as humans that all deserve a right to exist.
Exactly.
We all deserve a right to exist, and I shouldn't have to earn my right to exist. And that is what capitalism does.
What makes you think that you have to earn it? That's what I'm saying.
That is what this nation is. You do have to earn it. You do. Yes, you do. That is why we are criminalizing the poor. We are criminalizing the poor on a regular basis. How so? Because we're not even allowing for a wage to happen to allow people to get out of poverty. We are seeing inflation grow.
We both have people in our family that have done it, so we can't.
No, we have not had people that are done it. My mother came to America with an entire nursing degree. I can't say, oh, well, my mother did it. Why can't you? Because my mother
was pregnant at 19 from the south side of Chicago with no degree and still made
good for your mom. But this is the thing.
So we can't do it.
It's not. The question isn't whether or not some people can do it. The question and the reality is that it is not available to everyone in an equal way.
And that's unfortunate, but you know we live in a broken society. I went to Nigeria and they're having the same problems, and there's a bunch of Black people that are running Nigeria.
Society.
But it's the same thing in Nigeria.
But Nigeria is a broken society, whereas Burkina Faso is not. Burkina Faso is not.
Many Americans feel we're living
now.
So, in my observation, you have two sides of not of a different coin, but two different coins altogether. Whereas when you trying to educate a Black conservative person, They are not listening to nothing you have to say, because I look at the black conservative as an extension of white ideologies. Like, they believe what they have been taught in school, they believe everything that they see, and that deeper level just don't exist. So, especially like Africans from outside of the country, like, whereas we're not able to like differentiate, but the more that they talk, the more you can kind of see like, oh, this person don't even understand my life. In the same way, like, businesses pop up around niggas, and niggas don't never start a business to the degree of an African or a Chinese person. I was like, we was at the Mexican restaurant earlier. I'm like, man, I just want to go into a white neighborhood and open up a soul food restaurant. Like, cause why ain't that normal? What is a black restaurant? Like, just in general, like, what is our nationality restaurant for us, by us, in every city, like a Chinese food store?
Piggly Wiggly.
Niggas own Piggly Wiggly.
No, but I know niggas love going to Piggly Wiggly. No, you're right and exact though. I think when I hear black conservative, I hear a person who doesn't like the skin that they're in. So much so that they don't even know it when they argue against the same things that are actually being discussed to benefit them. So I think it's a level of Stockholm syndrome. I think it's a level of identity displacement, and I think those people that are that call themselves black conservatives haven't had their nigga moment yet. Because when you have this belief that the world is rosy and fireworks shoot out the sky and shit like that, like when you have that view and then you get to a point where I don't know, you get stopped and frisked unnecessarily, like certain things need to happen in order for black conservatives to have their nigga moment. I just don't think that they've had it yet.
This is a census demograph by race in the country. Blue is white people. So when people say black people is this and black people is that, they're also saying that animals in a cage act different than if they wasn't in a cage. Niggas don't live nowhere. Down south in rural areas is about in Virginia, DMV. But for the most part, like if you talk about Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, white people show you how to live every single day. But you probably wouldn't pay attention because you busy working or doing what you're doing. But I'm telling you, it's a whole world of white people that's like not even racist or nothing. It's just how it is. To me, it's just like you cannot drive around Ohio and say racism is not even, it don't exist. Because all the niggas is in Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Akron, Youngstown, Toledo, and that's it. Dayton, that's it. Ohio is huge. It's filled with white towns.
Well, and isn't Ohio one of the leading states with the most penitentiaries also.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know the first juvenile detention center was in Cleveland, Ohio,
They
like the
love
30s.
locking niggas up in Ohio.
Yeah, no, they love that shit.
They love
They
that.
got fields and fields of prisons, nigga.
I got family members in Ohio State prisons right now.
It's one of those things. If you went to Ohio and you did any type of street shit, you probably went to prison as a bragging right.
Ohio has historical prisons that's no longer being operated.
Museums and shit.
Yeah, no, for real. Like it's just
Them niggas is collecting money off of tours.
shit look like castles. Like the prison on Lil Wayne Go DJ video. That was a prison in Ohio.
Yeah, most
Y'all
of the
go
prison,
back and
but
look at that video.
that's a whole nother podcast for another day. But most of the prisons used to be castles, right?
Yeah. So I remember we talked about that on one episode, but yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting how out of touch the girl on the right was, just to say, well, I did it, you can do it too.
Right.
You know, I think that's
that's
like you got to be extremely immature and naive to say something like that and think that you earned a stripe because your mama was 19 pregnant in the south side of Chicago. You know, like that don't have nothing to do with how your life is right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might have had experiences in your childhood, but it seemed like she got a chip on her shoulder for things that she didn't experience. You get what I'm saying? It's like everybody want to feel like they got it out of the mud to a certain degree, you know, and it seemed like she want to embellish, you know, going to college and probably dating her white boyfriend, because most of those Africans don't date Africans in America, you know, and they don't date black people in America either, you know. But I think it's really important to understand that you can't, and it's difficult because I think the way, you know, living in the United States, we have a reflex to look at someone's skin color and say, oh, you know, I can trust what this person about to say, you know. But I always say, like, put that person in a different situation or put a different skin color on that person and then ask yourself that same question. You know what I mean? Because say she looked like your 5th grade teacher or your 3rd grade teacher. Most of them was fucking white women that looked like her, you know, and couldn't connect with the kids. You know what I mean? They either were screaming at the kids all day or just shaking their head at the kids all day. And it's crazy because I know some people that have, you know, began to do really well in their life, like making 6 figures and begin to talk that way, you know. And I just simply point out the fact where, like, yo, you making some good money now, and now you got a whole different perspective on people living in this country in general. You know what I mean? Like, so you basically, based off of your education or your finances, you think you just broke apart from the collective. You know what I mean? And it's so stupid. It's so stupid. You know what I mean? Because even if you in a Benz, you still a nigga in the coupe. Like, it don't matter. It don't fucking matter. Like, man.
I'm not black. I'm OJ.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, like when they decide, if they ever decide, when they decide to come for niggas, they're not gonna stop and be like, oh, not that one, because you African.
yeah.
Like they're not gonna do that, bro. Like, if we get to a point where it's up for niggas, it's up for all niggas. And I think that's the part where like Hood was saying, like motherfuckers don't know how to read the room. They don't know how to read nothing. Because every time she brings up a valid point, she brings up the fact that somebody from her family did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how disingenuous is that? Like you're arguing the exception, and you don't even see that you're arguing the exception. Like I don't give a fuck if there's 10 melanated people that made it. If there's 10 million that did it, you know what I'm saying? Like we still
this
all
shit out. Peep this
fucking
shit
vote,
out.
bro.
You will watch the news and they'll say such and such. This happened. This sensational shit happened. They talk about one news story for 2 hours. Niggas are in that whole that live stream like, damn, it's fucked up out here. Niggas is out here killing. That shit happened in one neighbor, one crazy house where they've been smoking crack and heroin since '94. They fucked up over there, but now all black people. It's like if you like, you could deal with 100 black people, not have no experiences, have one bad experience, and now all black people is a certain type of way. Like I think biases and studying biases within yourself is so healthy because what you're doing is you have a negativity bias and you have an implicit bias. Negativity where when bad things happen, you exaggerate it. Like now that's the only shit happening in the world. That's the only thing you can talk about. And implicit bias is you're not even recognizing that white people murder white people and interracial violence is what it is. You know what I mean? Like that's just what's going to happen. Not saying it's right or wrong, but then to like tag it black on black crime, that's marketing. That's propaganda. That's not you ain't never heard on white crime or Chinese on Chinese crime. You don't think crime happening in China right now?
Which is super weird because
Shit, crime happening in Chinatown.
yeah,
Exactly.
like
All over the
in
country.
every Chinatown, nigga.
Right.
It's so unhealthy, bro. It's so unhealthy because when you say it like that, like think about it, right? They say that the YT people are the majority, right? So if people kill where they at, right? Blacks kill blacks where they at, whites kill whites where they at. You would think that more conversation would be on the majority as opposed to the minority.
That's not the propaganda. Like the white boy in Indiana or somewhere killed the 4 college students. It's shit like that that's happening every day. You're not
Every day.
saying the every time it's a school shooting.
It ain't
Did I
never
say
us.
more? Did I say
Yeah.
I need to say more?
It ain't never us.
Nope.
It ain't never us.
Yep.
Every time a motherfucker kills somebody and want to change their sex, it ain't never us.
But once again, it's not a propaganda though associated with it. And you're not gonna say all white people are school shooters.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say that. Even though you could say that, but I'm saying like black people don't know the difference between a stereotype and a reality.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's safe to say that black people are living somebody else's reality, not their own.
For real. Like in the Matrix, to win in the Matrix is so clear to me now. You can win in this bitch if you hate us, bro. If you hate niggas, you can succeed.
Is there a better money maker for them
All
than
of these
hating
people
niggas?
on this 20v1 got social media platforms and they sit on their platforms and talk about how niggas ain't shit. Our
All
niggas,
day.
they all niggas. this is a panel of 20 black liberals, and they feel like, or not liberals, conservatives. They platform is not to push conservative ideals, but to bash niggas. Every time it's a news story about a nigga, these are the type of people that's going to talk about it and say, look, these are these niggas, they out of control. But if 1,000 healthy stories came out, like I went to my son had a play in Detroit. It's like 100 students, talented as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What no news cameras there? What these kids 12 and 14 singing, dancing, acting.
Mm-hmm.
Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't no news cameras there. But if them motherfuckers started to fight and brawl,
Mm-hmm. They had every news station there.
Yep. Yep.
And I think that's the difference that our people just don't see, or maybe it's a matter of starting to get to a point where I think it's a matter of people just don't want to see, because it's not sexy to talk about the goodness of Black people. It's not sexy to talk about the resiliency of Black people. It's not sexy to talk about the fact that they still here, the fact that all of that shit that y'all did, all of them motherfucking diabolical schemes y'all concocted, right? These niggas is still here.
It's the stereotype. What I was saying, like people can't differentiate from the stereotype. I mean, that's why it seemed like it chilled out a little bit, but that's why they made, American slave movies every year. Like,
Yeah, they got to reinforce that thing every year. They got to remind you
yeah,
of the slave porn every
or
single year.
yeah, or if something, within that realm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, this year was Sinners. This year
truthfully,
was
yeah,
Sinners.
yeah,
This
you're
year
right,
was
you're
Sinners,
right,
and there's another one. There's another one.
you're right.
There's another one. But for sure, Sinners is in
Mm-hmm.
that realm.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did not have
Yeah.
to show that depiction that way in order for them to add the element of vampirism. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't need to show that. But I digress.
Mm-hmm. And I don't get what people say the shit about, like, racism ain't a thing or you can overcome racism and shit. That
I
gotta be the
think
fucking dumbest shit I ever heard, because this is an extremely in your face racist country. If you just drive, if you find a main street in any city, just drive that street and watch how, like, the neighborhood just change.
my nigga,
And watch
we
how there's only a certain people in that neighborhood, you know what I mean? And like, to your point, Surfing, like, okay, just because you overcame it doesn't mean that everybody can do it too. And that doesn't mean that it's a solution that you have to overcome capitalism,
mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
that's a dummy mission for one. You know what I mean? Because what she not gonna say is all the stuff that comes with having to deal with overcoming capitalism. You know what I mean? Like, you probably living by yourself, stressed out about black people
stress,
because you the only
stress.
successful black person you fucking know. Fucking idiot. Like, and now you got resentment because everybody else wasn't quote unquote lucky as you were.
Mm-hmm,
Meanwhile, niggas in the hood or niggas wherever, they happy. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
At least they happy. They got their little weed or whatever. They can work on their cars, go back and forth to work. At least they got each other. You know what I mean? You up here assimilating to Caucasian folks, mad.
because
I
you
mean,
think that it's
she is
crazy.
a melanated woman with blonde hair. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just it's a weird paradigm, man.
But I think also, when you think about like the boule, you know, they always say those are the first people that's gonna get their heads chopped. If shit really hit the fan, those are literally gonna be the human shields. You know
Talking
what I
about the
mean?
race, you talking about the race traders. The same thing with the dirty
Yeah,
Moors.
like the shit, the
The
literal
same thing with the
Copernicus
dirty
server.
Moors. Like
Yeah,
when we talk about
Exactly.
our
That's another
civil,
part of this.
yeah, like when we talk about our civilizations falling, we all know, like we're not naive to the fact to know that these so-called colonizers had help, and the help
yeah,
looked like us,
that was the
right?
only way.
So when we factor that in, and then we add the boule as a caveat on top, right? Now you understand that divine nine shit that's going through all of the HBCUs since the beginning of their inception. Like you understand that there is a pocket level of melanated beings that don't operate melanatedly. You know what I'm saying? Like I just made that
Mm-hmm.
word up. They don't operate
Mm-hmm.
that way. You know what I'm saying? They don't see us as equals. They don't even see us as people. They see us
Mm-hmm.
as pawns in the game, and their objective is everything for the king. Everything for the king is how they operate. So when you understand that, then you understand that we got a bunch of dog whistles that live amongst us type shit. Now you understand why it's virtually impossible for unification to be the ultimate goal, because the unification got to come from people who all are in the same mindset and consciousness in order for that to happen. Because the majority of people are not. The majority of people are scattered, and the majority of people will remain scattered. But the little pockets of people who are together, like mine, like those are the ones that are gonna make the change. And that's the shit that we gotta be real. We gotta be real with ourselves about and be willing to accept that part. It's not gonna be 8 million versus 8 million. That's just not gonna be it.
It's to me it's like we in a society where I've always like ever since a child noticed like when motherfuckers say like, "Oh, I'm from Haiti," or "I'm from Senegal," or "I'm from Ghana," and I don't have a place to say. And now when you have like these panels, and the only people that's allowed to have this discussion for real, to even call themselves a black radical, is people who don't even share the same lineage, because like this is our home. And I feel that everything that's happening in Washington DC, and like it's all coinciding energetically someplace from the root, like it's bubbling to the surface, where these Africans, man, have been complicit since the very beginning.
My nigga, not to cut your wisdom, but all I want to say is I saw the king with what the woman king, right? Like that should have been the final nail in the coffin for
Mm-hmm.
your African lineage. Like if you think your African lineage is a thing, right? Like we sold ourselves into fucking servitude first. Like let's be real.
And that's a level, but then slavery was normal because it was indentured servitude, right? But when you talk about systematic racism, we talking about people that said, all right, your kid is a slave too. And slavery from the Vatican is in perpetual, like it's a perpetual slavery.
It's a lineage.
It's a
It's a
lineage.
slave of the lineage.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't ignore it, and it's cool when it's cool, but when the shit hit the fan, niggas gonna wish they would have said something, or like
Did something different, like
yeah, like instead of like didn't see it from a mile away, like, oh, they doing the African game and they've been doing the African game since the 80s. They wasn't calling us African Americans in the
nope,
1900s and the 1800s.
nope.
This is a real live game, and not even to be on some like hateful or negative energy shit, but I'm on some shit where, all right, let's get into this Goetia. Let's get into this rituals. Let's get into this magic because niggas has got to have some level of awareness moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all. Like when this shit happens, it'd be like, oh, y'all didn't see that? Where they from? Oh, they from Nigeria too? Okay. Y'all it did not clock into you yet? Okay. All right, not all right, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria. Nothing wrong with Nigeria, but what's wrong with America? Like the voices of the indigenous past. Why is that? Like,
Mm, mm.
why is a Hebrew Israelite a evil person, but a Jewish is a benevolent?
It's inverted.
It is.
It's
Niggas
inverted.
don't really
There's
talk.
no way. There's no way an Ashkenazi can be a chosen one. That's inversion.
They said they did DNA tests on 33 Ashkenazis
Why
to
the number
figure out
33 is my question.
why did they
Because they playing.
why did they test 33 Ashkenazis to see if they was Jewish?
You gonna have to make that make sense, bro.
These these
So
motherfuckers do anything, man. Like,
just to add on, just to add on to what you were saying, Hood. So the first legal delineation of the U.S. law for African American in early colonial law, 1600s to the 1700s, Africans were gradually separated from Europeans through slave codes. Virginia, 1662, passed the law Partis Sequitur Ventrum. A child's status follows the mother's condition. So children of enslaved women were automatically enslaved. This was one of the earliest legal delineations of African identity as distinct and hereditary in America. Over the next decades, colonies like Maryland, South Carolina codified laws distinguishing Negroes and slaves from Christians or whites. The first political legal delineation at the national level, the U.S. Constitution, 1787, and the Three-Fifths Compromise defines enslaved persons, the majority being African descendant, as 3/5 of a person, representation and taxation. That was the first federal delineation of African descended people in America's founding document, Dred Scott, 1857. The first positive delineation of African American as citizens, the 14th Amendment in 1868. The first African Americans were explicitly recognized in federal law as full citizens. So you talking about 300 years before they said, all right, you're not slaves no more.
And even that, you still so that's the thing with law, right? So I can make a law, civil rights law, 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment. That's what's called the legislative branch, right? But then it needs to be enforced
Mm-hmm.
by the executive branch and the
Mm-hmm.
judicial branch.
Mm-hmm.
When you have things such as Jim Crow, redlining, and just the basic layout of the country. The reason why the country is racist, right, is a very simple thing. It's not even hard to really wrap your head around. Black people would live all over the country if they could, man.
Yeah, we still got sundown towns, bro.
You have never, like, if you ever just drove outside of your city for any reason. See, niggas don't have no reason to just drive and just cruise through cities. But if you ever did that, like took the scenic route, like avoid highways and you on a long trip, and just drove through cities, you're gonna see white life. That's living in this country. When you live in a city, you're not living there because you want to live there.
Yeah.
You live there because you don't have no fucking choice. And get your shit together, get your money up, and go ahead and move to a sundown town.
The reverberations of redlining still exist today.
You got it. You. This is such thing as a black neighborhood today, isn't it? You know the black side of town, wherever you at. Come on now, let's be so.
Normally the projects.
Listen to this. Despite much speculation, many gaps in our understanding in the origin of the Ashkenazi and the demographic upheavals they experienced during the second millennium. To answer some of these questions, a 30-person team led by the Hebrew University analyzed DNA from remains of 33 individuals buried in a medieval bluish cemetery in Germany. And this is the data that they use to say that they need to live in Pakistan.
Yeah, they just playing with faces.
I think they even playing with the word Ashkenazi.
Yeah,
Ashkenazi Jew. What the
listen,
fuck, bruh?
listen. I think it's just right
It
in,
had
it's
to be
right in your
purposefully
face.
misspelled.
I think it's right in your face. How about that?
Come on, man.
Listen, if we wanted to be technical, bro, it's been right in our face the whole time. Like, I don't want to get us canceled, but
Yeah,
when you
I
say
want
anything is
to.
a ish,
Man.
when you say anything is a ish, that means kind of like,
Mm,
right? Because, like, if I say I'm like hungry ish, right? What I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm hungry, but I mean, I could eat, right? When
Yeah,
you put an ish on anything in the English language, what does that mean?
I agree. But to add to that, like you have a war going on 80 fucking years in the fucking desert for a little piece of land. Why ain't that shit over with yet? How is it still? I'm not even gonna say their names. How is it still those native people to that little land in the desert still alive after an 80-year war?
That's crazy.
Like, like, how,
Like
bro? Like,
y'all niggas couldn't come to a compromise yet, like at all, like
yeah,
ever.
like,
Like there was never any give and take whatsoever.
or y'all didn't decimate these people by now? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, how was this shit? This shit's been going on almost 80 years, bro.
Yeah, I don't think.
Was
I
they
don't.
fighting with rocks?
I don't think. I don't think that is a real thing. I think like I really feel it's about us. You know, about people in America, and they just playing with our birthright. They just showing you what it look like to like have all the power in the world and just be dumb as hell, right? But like,
Right.
what would you do if you? And I'm like really just needing to get into this Kabbalah, you know, and really just get into my rituals and get into the soul work and really make sense of it. Like it's like I think that's all you can do because shit. Look at this shit, man. These niggas, you would just be chilling at the crib. Israel strikes Gaza again. You like, what the fuck's going on, bro? It's another bomb. Like, I don't care, but why is they keep saying this shit every day? Like,
Yeah, I'm right there
For
with
80
you.
years.
Like, bro, like the way I was taught about Israel was Isis, Ra, and El. And now like I'm supposed to take on Israel as like a real thing, right? But nobody is seeing anything. They just telling us stuff, right? And I'm just like, the way I view it is like I've seen this movie before. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just telling us stuff, and it makes more sense to me if I'm putting it in a logical space. It makes more sense to me that this is more about what Hood said it is than what it is that they're telling us it is. Because wouldn't it be the biggest wool pulled over everybody's eyes if the people that are actually the most oppressed are the ones that are the most anointed? That would make for a lot of pie on the face, literally, for a lot of fucking people, bro. A lot of fucking people.
Because we know the whole history of the Mediterranean Sea is always a group of people that kick in the door and say, I'm the Egyptians now. Them people ain't the Egyptians. We the new Egyptians. They don't change nothing about the culture. I mean, they change a little bit about the culture, but they put themselves in that history as in you got, you know, pale skinned people who don't know who Asari is at this point in time. who don't know who Bass is. You get what I'm saying? Like these is just ancient, like just shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
And they made a movie with Bass in it. They still don't even know who Bass is.
Cause it ain't they shit.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in the Bible. Like it's been plenty of people that invaded Israel and took over Israel and became the quote unquote Israelites. What's different about right now? What's different about right now?
Yeah, these niggas at a point where they can't tell a Persian apart from an Arabic, from a fucking Pakistani. Like they just can't.
Say that, you know, the Negro in America are a group of lost tribes, and what they need to do is to go to a state like Virginia, or maybe even upstate New York, and all of them need to move there. Like all of them drop everything. You just move there and just figure it out there.
Yeah, I'd say niggas need to take over New England, Maine, Rhode Island,
whatever it may be, but concentrated in one space. Like no longer spread out, or hey, hell, take over Florida, but just one state to where like the mayor in every city, with the governor. You know what I mean?
Would
like,
that work in Cali? Do y'all think that would work in Cali?
It can. It can. I think wherever we choose to concentrate ourselves, I think it'll work anywhere. You know, I think it'll work any fucking where. Shit, we can all move to Cuba. You know what I mean? I think it'll work anywhere.
I would
but
say
I think it's
combine
gonna take us
Alabama and Mississippi and make a black state.
Yeah, combine Alabama and Mississippi sound dope too.
Yep. That sound hard as fuck, especially with the history of those two states.
Mm-hmm.
We could just take the DMV in North Carolina and South Carolina. Same thing.
But just concentrate ourselves in that space. And literally just stop watching, you know, stop just
stop fucking with them all together. Just stop fucking with them all together.
And I think it will look similar to what we hear about happening in Gaza.
That shit would look like that shit would be like Atlantis, nigga.
At the end of the day, the people are the economy. Mm-hmm. And if people are willing to, I wouldn't necessarily say work, but align with a shared vision, I mean, it's already like that. You know, if you ever been to Mississippi or Alabama, it's basically mostly black anyway. So it's just like we just got to get into a space where we're not going to change the world. So we got to run businesses and own businesses and get good at it. Black businesses in a way where it's Chinese businesses and Mexican businesses and franchise and build and know and grow. Like it can't be niggas out here on the side of the road and they could be, you know what I'm saying? Like we just looking at niggas like, damn, get your shit together, help them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Way, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause
that's the biggest thing right there. If we could get to a place where our people drop the judgment
and add the fucking support, it would probably look like we want it to look. I totally think we could do another Wall Street, but we should do something better than Wall Street.
Mhm.
I'm saying Atlantis 2.0, nigga.
Yeah.
The whole state. Need a
The
whole
whole
state.
state, my nigga. We need a state with mounds, though, bro. We need a state with mounds.
Wherever
Alabama.
we go, we're gonna build new shit.
That's a
Just,
fact, nigga.
just. But like, I just wish niggas should just be done with this shit, bro. Cause it's man, it's gonna happen, but
It probably
can't tell
won't be
you
in our
when.
lifetime.
Yeah,
We got to
can't
set
tell
the
you
wheel in
when.
motion type shit. We got to come back in different bodies just to see it fall through. I'm already thinking like that. Like, I'm gonna be in a different body in a different time and space, and yeah, we just gonna
Yeah,
finish it. We just gonna finish it on that end, but we're
I
gonna
mean,
start
cause
it
we,
right now.
we had plenty of people like that. I remember all the information Hood shared about Dusabo and Patrick Pascal Beverly Randolph.
Mm-hmm.
And then there
Saint
was someone
Germain,
else in that.
Saint Germain,
Yeah,
and John D in them,
yeah. Like it's a real thing. And I mean, look what John D did.
right? Look
That
what
was
look
just
what
one
the original
person.
Buddha did. Look what the original Buddha did. They said that nigga came back like 6, 7 times.
One person. But that one pebble made such big ripples. And I think that's the importance of like getting into your magic, man.
And I would add, this life not over. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot more time to go in the way that the quantum operates. Everything that we experienced in these past 50 years can happen in a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That
just
is quantum. That is quantum.
Mm-hmm.
so we just
Mm-hmm.
have to like. I've seen shit change, but it goes back into operating and utilizing your soul, prioritizing that, and bringing that into some type of focus, at a certain level. I mean, I know it's a hard thing for niggas to do, but I think the system is already there, Kabbalah, and niggas just don't really practice it. It's like it's there, but niggas not really dealing with it because we don't realize that we got the soul. So the white people know the Kabbalah, but they don't have the vehicles. They don't have the Merkaba or the Kalim.
They don't have the operation, modus operandi. They can't use that shit. They
They
could read about it, they could talk about it, but they can't use it.
So it's really up to us. And I mean, it's just knowing what you need to do, knowing what you got to do. And, it's one level to just get a job and make your money and all of that. But you got an emotion, you got a mental, you got a spiritual. So, what you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, because with a lot of niggas, it's like, are you really ready to take that next step? Or not. You just nah, I gotta get this money. Or the last time I did the spiritual, I lost my mind. Hood. I can't fuck around. It's like, all right, man. And nobody tell you to motherfucking deal with that stripper girl and travel across the country because you did some ayahuasca. That's on you. Gotta stay grounded. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't let this spiritual shit drive you crazy. Like tap
Well,
in.
that's the key. I mean, you can't you can't do this and not be grounded.
Yeah, you
You will
can't not
lose your mind.
ground it. Like, let's stop.
Yeah.
Like, niggas got to start applying this shit. They can't stop. It's like niggas hear shit, but they don't really
Right.
feel like it's about them. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
being grounded is so real for anybody in this spiritual journey. And if you didn't take the time to do it, then you're not grounded. Like, but But yeah, man, I'ma get ready for the day. Probably do some meditation before I go to sleep.
Same.
Same here. Whenever I do get off this damn job.
Well, peace to the tribe, peace to the fam. I had a good conversation with the guys.
Peace.
Hopefully y'all did too. And
Absolutely.
see y'all all on the flip side.